What's up, you guys? This is JGo2 back with another video. And in this video today, if you saw the title, then you already know we're discussing yet again the Boston Celtics. I just made a recent video discussing briefly about the Boston Celtics, but hey man, they're the NBA champions, so I don't want to discuss more about the Celtics and just be real about them, because you know, if we're being honest, the Celtics, while now they've had expectations extremely high, man. Even this season alone, what was the expectation for them? It was championship or bust. Even if the Celtics looked like they were playing really good at times, there was still no excuses for them, and the expectations were high. Even at times when they were struggling a little bit. I mean, for crying out loud, people thought they weren't playing against good enough competition. But then they go out and they play against one of the best Western Conference teams in the Dallas Mavericks, who finished the year off with one of the best defensive ratings. And you have the best player in the world, and Luka, on your team. Even still then, people were questioning the Boston Celtics, even though they had the best starting lineup in the league. And on top of that, you have the highest offensive rating of all time. Yes, the Celtics had the highest offensive rating of all time. And what do? They cruise their way to the NBA Finals, and they win the championship in 5 games. And they had a 16-3 record during that process. They didn't just win the NBA championship, they dominated their way into winning that NBA championship. And the truth is, they aren't really going anywhere anytime soon. Yes, Al Horford is 38 years old. Jrue Holiday is 34 years old. These guys, they're not getting any younger. They're getting older. They're getting up there. But when you have JT, you have KP, you have Jaylen Brown, all these guys are not even 30 yet. Derek White, I mean, they're not even 30 years old yet, and they are still playing really great basketball. KP, he averaged 23 while he was in that Washington, but he comes to this team in Boston, he averages 20 points a game, and he plays his role perfectly. And now, for Jrue Holiday and Al Horford, they're not even really asked to do a whole lot for the Celtics team anyways. They rely on them, least speaking, offensively. And that's just going to help them even more, because you still have Al Horford under contract until next year, and Derek White. And I believe, with all this saying, because they're going to have all their main core guys back on the Celtics team, the guys who matter, I believe that they are going to go back-to-back. I don't really think on paper there's any other team that can beat them. Yeah, we got to see what Paul George does in free agency, because that can shake up things a bit, especially if he does go to the Eastern Conference and goes to a team like the 76ers, who can offer him a lot of money. But I don't really think that nobody still can beat these guys. They have all of the experience in the world. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. As I said in my previous video, Jason Tatum, he's made it to the conference finals as a rookie. He played like he's already been there. But ever since then, man, every single year they've been making deep runs into the playoffs. And now I believe that that's just really not going to change anything. Now the difference is they actually won the whole thing. You have Brad Stevens, who is an amazing GM. You have Joe Mazzulla, who's an amazing coach. I mean, this guy is like constantly it's like his brain is just constantly calculating information. It's just funny to hear him talk. But it's just like you have all of the key pieces that you need for longevity. And something I discussed in my recent video as well too is longevity. That's what you need to be a successful team. We've seen the Warriors do it. We've seen all the teams that have won championships, multiple NBA championships, they do it. They have longevity. They keep these core guys intact, and they all just work together. They just have that chemistry. I'm not saying either that the Celtics are going to be a dynasty and win the next 5 or 6 NBA championships, but I believe with the timing and how things are going, they can definitely go back-to-back, and they're still, even then, after going back-to-back, there'll still be a problem for teams to face, because these guys are still really young on this team. And Jrue Holiday at one point, he's not going to be the same, so they may eventually move him down the line. And Al Horford, I believe that next year may probably be his last year playing. We shall see how that goes. But regardless of that, they still have a loaded team, and they have talent that they can always surround these core guys with on the Celtics team. We all know, once Jason Tatum, he signs his contract, that is going to be quite a bit of money that they're going to have to pay all these guys on this team, because they're going to definitely have the most expensive roster ever in basketball. But in order to win these NBA championships, and to keep contending at the highest level, I believe that they're going to be willing to do that to succeed and accomplish their goals. But listen, man, for the longest time, this Celtics team, they have been under pressure for a while. Really, for them, it's been no excuse. Last year was just an epic disappointment, losing to that Miami team. They were the first team to come back, I believe, from 0-3, but they still lost. And look, man, for them, even if the Heat were healthy this year, I believe that they still would have lost. Even if the healthy 76ers team played them, healthy Bucks played them, any team that was healthy in the Eastern Conference played them, I believe that the outcome would have still been the same. The only problem is with a lot of us is that we like to downplay the Celtics, but nobody can really compete with these guys in the Eastern Conference. It's just the truth. And that's why as well, when it comes to their longevity, unless some guys, they decide to just create some super team in the Eastern Conference to compete with them, they're not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. They can make it to the finals again next year, and I believe that they will. I just don't, like I said, right now in this present moment, I can't see anybody beat them. We said this a lot about NBA teams, of course, man. They win one more, and they go back to back, but when you look at the scenario and the circumstances, it can be different. Look at the Denver Nuggets. They're out there playing in the Western Conference, the toughest conference, as we all know, and the Timberwolves beat them in 7 games. And not only just beat them, they beat them in a fashion. So looking at that and looking in the perspective of just that alone, the West, every year, there's going to probably be a new team that makes it because the competition is just so stacked with so many guys that it's going to be hard. But looking at the East, it's literally for the Celtics like how when LeBron was just about dominating for his run going to the finals every single year. I don't know necessarily if it's going to be that long, obviously, if them making it to the finals. But even then, they can be a team that can make it to the conference finals. They can still be a team that is always just going to be around in some way, shape, or form. They have all the key ingredients and what you need to win an NBA championship. They have all NBA caliber players, and they have an amazing supporting cast, a great coach, great GM. They always try to utilize putting the right pieces around these guys. And most importantly, they're all humble. Like, look at Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. They don't necessarily care about trying to be that guy for their team. All they care about is just winning. And that's really one of the key things, man. And when it comes to winning these championships, you all have to know your role in order to win at the highest level. I mean, Chris Bosh at Miami, a great example. He had to change his entire game for the Heat to even win the NBA championship in the way that they did. And this same thing is with the Celtics team. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, they're all playing team basketball. For crying out loud, we didn't even know who could win finals because everybody played their role and played their part perfectly. That's dangerous. That's really, really dangerous, man. So, look, man, the future for Boston right now in this present moment is bright unless we see some moves that happen that just drastically just change the whole trajectory. Right now, there's nobody that I believe that's going to beat them next year. And we shall see, though, how that plays out, man. It's going to be interesting. Free agency is still coming up here soon. We got the draft. So much more NBA news. Offseason is one of the best parts of the NBA season, so let's see how it goes. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more basketball content each and every single week. Peace.